guys, and welcome back to the Nurse Nook. As promised, here is my postpartum update video. So for those of you that are new to the channel, new to my journey, I recently switched to mother-baby nursing, also known as postpartum nursing. I've been here for a little bit over a month now, and I wanted to really get my feet wet in postpartum nursing to give you guys a really good update and how I'm feeling and how I'm thriving and surviving or not surviving. And so it's been a month in, and so I'm ready to update you guys. I wanted to show you guys my cute new glasses. When I got a new job, I literally got new everything. I got new shoes, I got a new lunch bag, and obviously new glasses. One thing about postpartum nursing is the amount of charting compared to when I was an ER nurse is like quadruple the amount, honestly even more than that, because as an ER nurse I literally we do the bare minimum when it comes to charting, but not so much in postpartum nursing. And so I'm spending a lot more time on the computer and doing a lot of charting and just looking up orders and the EMR and just so much stuff on the computer. And so that's why I got these glasses from Felix Gray that are so cute, and they are blue light, which is the most important thing because I spend a lot of time on the computer, and having these blue light glasses from Felix Gray filters out like 15 times more than normal blue light glasses when it comes to the blue light that is emitted from the screens, phones, computers, tablets that you're watching. It seriously helps with the headaches that you get from staring at screens all day, and it also helps with sleep, which is super important to me because I need my sleep, especially switching from night shift to day shift and now getting used to waking up early. I feel like my body is requiring a lot more sleep than normal again, and so thankful for these babies right here. The style I'm wearing is in Kelvin. Super cute. I'm gonna leave the link down below to my glasses. Try them out and see why I love them. Again, I have this style. Kelvin, love these. I said I couldn't wear my glasses through the rest of this video, but the way the glare was set up from this ring light, it would have been very annoying to watch this whole video. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of what it's been like to be a mother-baby nurse. And I kind of go back and forth with saying postpartum and mother-baby nurse because they can mean different things to different people. So the unit I work on, it used to be a postpartum unit, which is literally just like moms. There are postpartum units that are mom and babies that are still called postpartum. But saying specifically like postpartum, it can mean just taking care of the mom. Whereas mother-baby specifically states that you take care of mom and baby. So I'm technically on a mother-baby unit. And we do what's called couplet care. So couplet care is where the nurse takes care of the mom as well as the baby in the same room. And so let me just start off by saying that this was a huge wake-up call coming from ER to mother-baby. This is my first time ever being an inpatient nurse, so it was a very eye-opening experience. I kind of got a little bit into this on my Instagram. Go follow. I made a post about just wanted to take a second to honor inpatient nursing because there is so much that I never had to deal with as an ER nurse that now is part of my daily life as an inpatient nurse. Like, one of the hugest thing is charting. The charting is ridiculous. Like, oh my goodness. There is so much charting in inpatient nursing. Like in the ER, you chart your meds, obviously, a quick head assessment, like a focus assessment, and then you may write a little note. And that's pretty much it, unless something happens and you have to say like change in condition or whatever it is. But for the most part, short, sweet, straight to the point. Whereas in inpatient nursing, you can literally stay hour, 2 hours after your shift is done just to catch up on all the charting that you had to do throughout the day. Like care plans. Oh my God, I've never in my life had to chart a care plan. I didn't even know what that was at first. I know we did that in nursing school, but again, like nursing school is so different from real world nursing, and I forgot all about that since I graduated. But the charting is like one of the biggest things that I had the most difficulty with. And it's not just like charting that's just difficult. It's the amount of patients that you have to chart on. So let me just say that I absolutely love taking care of the mom and baby. This is not going to be like a whole ranting session, because there are some parts that I really love about it, and there are some parts that I'm still getting used to. And I'm going to talk about both, because I'm not just going to sit up here and be negative and talk about how crazy it is. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yes, I love taking care of both mom and baby. However, taking care of mom and baby means you have to chart on mom and baby. And it's not like you just have one mom and baby. Sometimes you can have 4 moms and 4 babies, and that's a total of 8 patients that you're charting on. It's not always like that, but you could potentially reach that number. That's like your cap. When you think about having to chart like assessments, care plans, education, meds, doing tasks for all these patients, it can become a little bit overwhelming. And so that is probably the thing that I had the most difficulty with starting, is just managing, like, okay, not only do I have to do all these tasks, but I also have to chart like every little thing that I do, and then I have to call doctors. Oh my God, that is another thing. I have never in my life had to call a doctor before. I posted about this on my Instagram, and people were like, girl, how the heck did you last all these years as a nurse without having to call the doctor? Sister, because in the ER, the doctors are literally sitting right behind me, or if not right behind me, in like a cubby, like down the hall, and all I have to do is like, hey, Dr. Smith, like, can you put in an order for Tylenol for this patient? Or whatever it is. I never had to call a doctor, because the doctors literally worked right next to you. Whereas in inpatient nursing, the doctors will like round once or twice a day, and then they're gone. And then if anything happens, a lab is funky, your patient needs different pain meds, the patient's having an allergic reaction, blood pressure's up, whatever it is, if something happens, it's like you need to call the doctor. And the doctor is not on the unit, so you need to phone them up wherever they are. And that is like my least favorite thing. I do not like calling doctors. Not because I'm like scared to talk to them, it's just because I feel like it kind of just slows you down. Like having to page out a doctor, wait for their call, wait for the orders to come back. I feel like that can like really slow you down. And again, none of this is like specific to my unit. This is just like across the board, inpatient nursing, mother baby nursing, like everywhere. This is like in no way, shape, or form like a complaint about my specific unit. It's just the nature of the job. So that is another thing that I am still getting used to. Another thing that was like a huge change for me is scheduled meds. Oh my God, I have no idea what a scheduled med is. In the ER, nothing is scheduled, nothing. It's like the doctor will put it in order whenever it gets here, you give it, that's it. There's no such thing as like at 8 p.m., at 12 noon. Maybe if the patient's like boarding for a while in the ER and they're admitted, maybe then will you have to give scheduled meds, which I probably have done like once or twice in my career. But scheduled meds is definitely something that I wasn't used to. But honestly, I kind of like it, to be honest. It's just that sometimes like you can get so busy with tasks. It's like, oh shoot, like I can't forget that I have to give this med. So some of the things that I really do like about mother baby nursing is, for one, obviously I love the babies. They're so precious. There are certain things that we get to do with babies that I'm like, I can't believe I get to do this as a job. Like, this is great. For example, like giving babies first baths. That is my favorite. Like, the parents are so excited and the baby's like, ooh, they're crying like most of the time when you do it, but whatever. It's just like so cool to know that you're giving this baby its first bath of life. And there's just so many things that you get to do with the babies. It's like, wow, this is your first this of life, or whatever it is. This is like one of the most special times in parents' lives, and it's like really special just to be a part of it. Another thing that I love is postpartum nursing is probably one of the only or one of very few areas where people are actually happy to be there. Because if you think about it, every other unit, the ICU, the ER, med surge, people are there because of a problem. Something's going wrong with their body, something's going wrong with a family member, somebody's sick, somebody's not well. It's usually a problem that's going on. Whereas postpartum nursing, this is like the happiest, or one of the happiest days of these people's lives. So people are generally like very happy. There's like great energy in there, which I love. Y'all know I'm big on energy and there's just like really great energy when you walk in there. Like when you walk into a room, like parents all excited about their new little baby and they're cuddling, canoodling. I'm like, oh, so cute. What's your baby's name? So like the actual tasks of working with moms and babies, it's like unbeatable. I love it. So at this very moment, I have one shift left on orientation before I am on my own completely. And honestly, I'm a little bit nervous, not because I, you know, feel like dumb and I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, I actually do feel like that a little bit, so erase it. But there are so many different like processes. Like you can be an experienced nurse and go into a different field, and it's like learning everything all over again. Like you feel like a new grad all over again. And so when I first started, that's exactly how I felt. I felt overwhelmed. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. Despite like learning things beforehand and trying to do some studying, I still felt like there was so much that I was new to and wasn't used to and had to like relearn so much stuff. And so for a while, I was very nervous about getting off orientation, and I'm still kind of nervous about it. I'm gonna take this last shift that I have and literally, probably it's tomorrow actually, my last shift is tomorrow. Starting tonight, I'm gonna start writing down questions that I have to ask my preceptor tomorrow, because while I have her here, I'm gonna be like, girl, boo, boo, boo. And what else, and this is this, because you have to take advantage of your preceptor while you can. This is somebody that's literally appointed to you, dedicated to you to teach you the ropes. Ask your ass off when it comes to questions. Like, do not care about this person thinking you're dumb. They told you this before already. Who cares? Like, you want to keep your patient safe. Ask as many questions as you can so that when you're on your own, you don't have to worry about anything. And that's another thing that I'm kind of ready for. On orientation, no matter where you are, it's like you have to follow a nurse's schedule, routine, what they do, how they would do things. And it's like every nurse, especially with experience, every nurse gets into their own groove and has their own way of doing things. And while you're on orientation, you don't really have that freedom to make your own groove. You kind of have to go off of whatever groove your preceptor has. So sometimes that could be a good or bad thing, because it's like, oh, I want to do this, but my preceptor is like guiding me this way. It's like, okay, you learn both ways. Like you learn from your preceptor, and then you kind of take things and then you're like, okay, when I'm on my own, I'm gonna do it this way. Or I like that she does that, I'm gonna do that too. So take all your preceptorship, take advantage of it, because once you're on the floor and out there, you are not gonna have that luxury anymore. So my advice, ask your questions, take advantage of being on orientation, get to know your coworkers, submerge yourself in the unit. Anytime something cool is going on, jump in there, get to learn it. And that is the end of my first update. I will be back with another update after about a month on my own, so I can give you guys some more details on what life is like. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.